Welcome back, everybody. Time for another Taskmaster challenge, and I'm excited about this one. I'm really interested to see how this all plays out because there's a lot of flexibility on this one as far as the direction that everybody chooses to go. Now, bear with me. This one's a little complicated, so I'm going to read the scenario, and then I'll break down for you exactly the rules that I've got to follow. The year is 1945. You are a German warship designer. As the Allies approach Berlin, you must decide to defect either to Russia or the USA to spare your own life. You're a firm believer that the age of the battleship has not yet passed, and it is your mission to prove this theory to your new country. Taking all the knowledge and experience you have from your previous employer, Germany, combined with the newly acquired knowledge from your new country, you believe you can design a formidable battleship. You're allowed to use German technology to build your ships. Your new country's Admiralty has reluctantly agreed and have given you 55 months to design and build 4 new battleships that will be put to the ultimate test to prove its superiority. In addition, the Admiralty has requested your ship to be versatile and survivable. Therefore, you're required to have at least one main turret with guns 17 to 18 inches, one main turret with 15 to 16 inches, and one main turret with 14 inches or lower. The amount of guns per turret is at your discretion. Furthermore, you must have at least 8 torpedo launchers but cannot exceed 16 torpedo launchers. Each torpedo launcher must be capable of firing torpedoes of 18 inches or higher in size. Secondary armament can be placed as you see fit. There's no constraints on range. Now, the choice we have to make is, are we going to side with Russia against the U.S. or side with the U.S. against Russia? And when you make that choice, you have further parameters. So, if you choose Russia against the U.S., you have a financial constraint of $150 million per battleship to build. Due to the availability of labor and general disregard of health and safety practices, you have an additional 2 months to complete, so you could have up to 57 months build time. There are no size or displacement constraints on your design. Now, should you choose the USA, which is what I'm going to do, against Russia, your booming economy provides no restrictions on how much money can be spent on each battleship, but your ships must allow for passage through the Panama Canal. Therefore, they cannot exceed the length of 887.47 feet and a maximum beam of 108.27 feet. Should you choose to exceed these measurements, you can only build 2 battleships because they have to be split on either coast. I'm going to go with 4 and keep the restraints. Your newly constructed battleships will be accompanied by 2 destroyers. I almost forgot about that. 2 destroyers, and they will be testing their effectiveness against 2 battleships, 2 battlecruisers, 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, and 4 destroyers. For the challenge, the points will be allocated. Basically, what it comes down to is the percentage of available structural integrity on each of my 4 battleships, and you add that up. So obviously the max point total would be 400 points if all 4 of my battleships have 100%. So then we're going to subtract based on how much damage they take. So that's basically what this is about sinking the enemy fleet and taking as little damage as possible, but doing so within the constraints that we've been given. So I'm choosing option 2 as the USA, and I am going to choose to stay within the design limits. 887.5 feet length, 108.27 feet beam. 55 months is the max build time, no cost limit. And then, of course, I have to have 1 17 or 18, 1 15 or 16, 1 14 or lower, and between 8 and 16 torpedo tubes. So let's do it. Okay, so the very first thing we have to deal with, of course, is length and beam size. Obviously, this length is way too big, and so is the beam. So let's go down and see if it's even possible with this particular hull to get within the length constraints. And no, it is not. So let's go down to the smaller super battleship, the 84,000-ton ship. We can get that. Now, the beam is too big. It's got to be a max of 108, so we still can't do it. We got to go to modern battleship. That beam, we're at 116, so we actually have to come down a little bit. Man, I don't know how easily we're going to do this. It's not changing. Okay, so that's not going to work either. Oh, right. Well, maybe I'm kind of rethinking this now. So we actually have to go all the way down to Dreadnought 3 in order to get the size restriction lifted. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just go ahead and go with 2. Because I just don't want to go all the way down to a Dreadnought 3. Yeah, Dreadnought 4 is even a foot too big on the beam. So if we go with no size restrictions, we can only build 2. But the good news about that is you just double the points. So as long as I keep them relatively intact and I just double the point total, I'll be okay. So now we can max it out so long as we keep it under 55 months of build time. I want to go pretty fast with this thing because I want to avoid getting hit as much as possible. And of course we have all those limits as far as the guns we've got to put on this thing. All right. So we'll start with that. I'll keep, basically I'm just going to go ahead and build what I need to build, and then I'll see where I'm at on the build time, and we'll reduce as needed when that happens. We're going to need everything maxed out as far as repairs and things like that go. There's no limit on cost, so that's good news. I don't know where we're going to be on speed because of the issues there, but all right, let's start looking at guns, and then we'll figure out the rest of everything. We got to have one 17 or 18. I'm going to go with an 18 because they're both Mark IIIs. I'm going to go with triples. I don't think we can get them up on those. Oh, we can get it on the rear barbette. So maybe we'll do that. Oh, we can get it on the front one too. Okay. All right, so 2 18s. Then we need 15s or 16s, at least one. So I'm going to throw some triple 16s on here. And we've got to have at least something that's at least 14. We'll throw one of those on the rear. We've got an aft weight offset right now, but we'll see how we can atone for that later. I'm not going to worry too much about anti-torpedo because I'm hoping that he never gets that close. I am going to protect with barbettes as much as possible. Anti-flood's not a huge issue because we're worried about structural integrity and not flooding. But I will put at least a little bit. I'm going to go with heavy shells. Actually, we're going to go with super heavy shells. High TNT. Where are we at on build time? 51 months. We're good still. I'm going to go up to 22-inch torpedoes. I definitely want long-range accuracy because we're going to try and stay at distance as much as humanly possible. We'll at least put a little bit of hydro on here. Most of the rest is going to go into armor once we get some more going here. Only 32% engine efficiency. That's awful. We've got all the guns we're required to have. So now let's think about secondaries. Because we do have all those destroyers to deal with. And we do have to have a certain number of torpedoes. We've got to have at least 8, but no more than 16. There's 4. 8, 12, 16. So there's our 16 torpedo tubes. I want them on the deck for maximum flexibility as far as aim goes. Okay. So we're still within the constraints. 51 months build time, so we're good there. We have no limit on cost. All right, so I'm going to drop some speed since we have such an issue with engine efficiency anyway. we're going to be able to get up to speed. It's just going to be a matter of maneuverability that's going to be a problem for me. We're still at 51 months build time, so that's good. I want to go a little higher on the armor. Of course, the extended is where I'm going to get into the issue, especially on the deck. So I might drop some belt in favor of a little more deck extended. Oh boy. Okay, so that's where we're at. Oh boy, I don't know. I wish I had more speed. I wish I had more engine efficiency. I've only got 6 8-inch guns on each side. I wish I had more of those too, but let's try this. All right, well, I did all the building and then completely forgot that I had to go back down to 2 battleships instead of 4. So I've had to come in and recreate it. I made a couple of modifications in doing so, and that is I've got 3 guns on the rear now. I've got the 18s, 16s, and then 1 triple 14. I've got 18s and 16s up front. I've got my 8s on the side. I've still got my torpedo tubes here. I also went to an all-or-nothing armor scheme instead of turtleback. So we'll see how that works out. Everything else I think is pretty much the same. The armor might be slightly different, but pretty well the same thing there. So only 41% engine efficiency, but there's nothing I can do about that. Looks like my balance is a little better now. Let's see what happens. Okay. So I want to try and stay away from these guys as best I can. Got the Scharnhorst and the America. Since I am supposed to be American, even though I'm using German technology, I thought that I'd go with a name like America in this case. He's at 30,000 yards, and we're already 30,000 meters. We're already firing, so that's cool. We've got to keep an eye on our shells, though, because we don't have a tremendous amount of shells. The nice thing is we're already getting a decent accuracy. So I'm pretty content to mainly just fire with my rear turrets, since we're looking at a limited amount anyway. But I want to keep a decent angle so he doesn't cause a lot of damage, and I want to keep a decent distance. Although I may need to at least turn toward him for a little bit. I just have to be careful with my maneuverability because it's going to take me a while to get up to speed with the engine efficiency what it is. It may be better for me just to slow down to let him catch up and then start speeding up slowly. Because that's the only way I can speed up is slowly. Oh, we've already got an 18-inch over pen hit. I don't know what I hit. Looks like I hit one of those guys. Yeah, we got to be really careful on the number of shells, unfortunately. Alright, we're probably going to have to let him catch up a little bit. Oh, we got another hit on something. I'm going to keep a tight formation to improve our accuracy. Oh, there's a nice hit. 351 damage on something. Honestly, pretty surprised with the low accuracy that I've currently got, that I'm getting those kinds of hits. Thing is, I don't know what I hit because I can't see it. Might have been him. Own cruise speed bonus is really nice right now. 30% and climbing. Actually, a 7% accuracy from this distance I'm really impressed by. Alright, let's pause for a second. I think we can probably speed up a little bit for now. My only concern is the number of shells. I'm already down by about almost 10% of my shells. Feeling like maybe I should have brought more shells. I might need to let him get closer. Let's see the distance he's at right now. He's actually turning away from me. He's not even trying to get closer. Wow. Okay. So I guess we're going to have to come at him for a little bit. We got another hit, though. I'm scoring hits. But let's close the gap. Why are we next to each other? We're supposed to be in line. Really not sure what the deal is there. Alright, he's firing at us now, so this is where we gotta be careful. And we'll keep going that way. There's our first hit we've taken. Alright, we've gotten some hits on this battleship. We're starting to spot more. I'm basically gonna let my ships pick their targets for now. I've still got 2 destroyers. I keep forgetting that. I'm going to put them on AI. Just let them do their own thing. Let's start turning away. We just took a 14-inch shell. That's our first percentage off, so that's 2 points for every percentage we lose on a ship. Oh, Scharnhorst. I don't quite understand why they're not following in a line. I'm going to detach and then reattach. There's definitely a mission that's going to take a while. I don't know why Scharnhorst is still headed toward him. I guess we're going to have to just do separate orders here. The Scharnhorst is totally not following what I'm telling him to do. What is the deal? Oh, we just landed a big hit on somebody. Alright, we're going to turn Scharnhorst this way. it's that one back there that we nailed. I'd like to get a sinking, but I also feel like that's a low chance target there. So let's go for the one up close. Do much, but it's a hit. A little bit of a danger zone right here with Scharnhorst while we get turned around. My destroyers are already in trouble. At least get some torpedoes on these guys. They got some torpedoes in the water already. There's a nice hit. Ooh, we got 1,000 damage that time. Is that going to be enough to take this guy out? I think it will be. There's our first sinking. All right, we got torpedoes coming at the Scharnhorst. Maneuverability is going to be kind of hit or miss. Are we going after the battlecruiser? I think we are. We've got decent damage on both battlecruisers. Those are 15-inch guns. There goes his first destroyer. We hit him with the 8-inch secondaries. Oh, nice hit. These battlecruisers have 15-inch guns, but they're, I would assume, pretty paper thin, so these are good quality targets to hit. Is Scharnhorst turning to follow? They are. Okay, there goes our first destroyer. It took 4,000 damage. As long as they got some torpedoes that'll fly into the fleet, I'm happy. Alright, there goes his couple of torpedoes. So once he takes out my other destroyer, he'll start going after Scharnhorst. So far I've taken out, let's see, 1 destroyer and a heavy cruiser. There goes a battle cruiser. Excellent. Scharnhorst is at 95%, so that's, you double those points, so that's 10 points off. America is at 99, so that's 12 points off. Still pretty good, though. I'd like to be somewhere in the 340, 350 range, if possible, when this is all said and done. As far as the points left, which means I can only lose about 10 to 15% on each one. There goes my other destroyer. Man, come on, Scharnhorst, get caught up over here. I really feel like they're just not at all maneuvering the way I want them to. I don't understand why they're not following the other destroyer, or the other battleship. So once again, I'm going to have to... it's like he's doing completely his own thing. He can't turn to the left or something. There goes another heavy cruiser. That's both of them. I'm just going to lose too much damage on the Scharnhorst the way this is going. Let's get him sped up to full speed. See if I can start getting him turning left. I'm going to have to kind of keep a close eye on Scharnhorst for a little while. There's another destroyer. That leaves two of them. So hopefully we're removing the threat of torpedoes. Alright, now we're finally starting to get a left turn going. Down to 94%. The good news is keeping Scharnhorst close is allowing me to spot these guys since I've lost my destroyers. Oh no. Alright, there's a torpedo coming at Scharnhorst, and I don't think I'm going to be able to avoid it. Why are you so close? Why would you not follow the way I wanted you to? Not a thing I could do about that, and I have no torpedo bulge. That dropped me to 85% instantly. I did not want them anywhere near that close. Hopefully we're about to take out the other battle cruiser. One more big hit might do it. There goes another destroyer. He's down to one. We're about to get the last one. Need a couple more good hits on the Rostov. That should do it for that last destroyer. He's gone. Alright, all the destroyers are out. The heavy cruisers are both out. We've got one battle cruiser, two battleships, with two light cruisers left. Alright, Scharnhorst, you can go straight now. You jerk. I'm going to go ahead and start bringing America toward the enemy. There goes the other battle cruiser. We've got two battleships and two light cruisers left. Man, if I'd just not taken that torpedo hit, I would be feeling really good right now. As it stands, we're at, let's see, minus 32. Minus 2 is minus 34. So we're still at 366 points, which I think is pretty good. We'll see how the others do, though. Alright. Let's see if we can nail. These two battleships are both down by half already. We're targeting both of them. Oh boy, torpedo. The good news is we're at a good angle this time. I think we're okay. As long as we're angling away or toward, it should be a little easier to avoid these torpedoes. And there's a bunch of them too. Let me just make sure that none of those are headed toward the America. I can't quite tell the angle of those torpedoes from here. Or for that matter, if they have the range. I'm just going to have to keep an eye out, because I think they might be headed toward me. Keep as narrow as possible. So when they do get close, I have a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, there they are. I'm going to turn this way. I'm also going to slow down to regular time. Because, oh, that's a tough angle. It may be hard to avoid all of them. Because this one's coming at a slightly different angle than this one is. Oh boy, I don't know. I really don't want to take a torpedo hit. That's a lot of points. Just not sure I can squeeze in between these two. What I don't want to do is get hit by both of them. That's for sure. I just don't know that there's enough room to squeeze between the two. I think I'm good on avoiding the first one. I don't think I can avoid the second one. Boy. Darn it. I'm going to take it head on. How much damage is that going to do? Guess we're about to find out. Yeah, it only did 8%. That's 16 points. I guess it could have been worse. But let's not take any more of those. We lost another point on Scharnhorst. Down to 83. Alright, the problem is, of course, that I can't get my secondaries firing on the light cruisers at this angle. There's a nice hit. Alright, let's get America turned around. We'll have broadside for a minute. There we go. Nice hit on a light cruiser. He's gone. That was from an 8-inch shell that just must have hit in the right spot. But turning around and going away from him actually gets more guns on target. Since I've got 3 on the rear. Come on, a couple more big hits on the battleship. Looks like we're firing everything on the light cruiser right now with the America, which I don't really prefer. Rather, my main guns are firing on the battleship. There we go. Ammo detonation. Other light cruisers are gone. The question is, did he get torpedoes in the water? I don't think he did. All right. 2 already heavily damaged battleships to go. I'm down to 91% on the America. I'm at 82 on the Scharnhorst. Oh yeah, big hits now. So as it stands, you double that. You've got 182 points for the America. 164 for the Scharnhorst. That's 346. It's about where I wanted to be. I didn't want to be any lower than that. And I still don't. There's 2 stupid torpedoes. Makes me wonder if adding a torpedo bulge might have been worth it. Alright, I think we got the first one. Oh, he's hanging on. Kind of heading toward each other here. That's not ideal. Can't seem to finish this guy off. There we go. Come on. Nice. I mean, he's taking a beating, though. And why are we firing? Those are probably the secondaries. Lost another percent. Down to 344. Damn. Battleships don't want to go down. I keep getting hits, but you can see it's not causing any more structural damage. And we're not getting flooding damage either. Because my torpedoes have been pointless. I haven't fired a single one. Really don't want to have to close range to finish these guys off, but I don't know what else to do because he's taking hits but not dying. We'll just keep hitting them in the same spot, I guess. Jeez. Endless damage and nothing changes. Just firing pointlessly at this guy. I'm gonna go after the other one with the America. See if we have any better luck. My goodness, I mean, look at all the damage that I'm causing that's doing nothing. Still nothing. Another hit. Nothing. I need to get something that'll cause him to sink. I need some float damage further on down the ship. Did that do anything? Nothing. Still nothing. Endless hits that... I mean, his float damage isn't changing. His structural damage isn't changing. It's completely pointless to shoot at him. Let's get aggressive with our torpedoes. Maybe torpedoes in the water will do the trick, although I just fired them at the wrong one. Still nothing. Wow. This is unreal. He's still 14 and 58. He has been. I've probably caused 6,000-7,000 damage to him, and it hasn't changed that. That's something they're going to be fixing in the next patch. They talked about how, you know, right now you keep hitting the same spot on a battleship and nothing happens. That won't be the case with the next patch, but right now it definitely is the case. I'm gonna have to come up to point blank range and nail this guy. I think the other one we might get. Still 14 and 58. There's another 392 in damage that did nothing. See, we're hitting everything right up front. I'm not hitting him anywhere else. Now we're getting low on shells. There we go. There's a couple of big hits on the Alexander III. Now we're getting some torpedoes in the water. Let's see if this helps. There we go. Torpedoes will do it. You've been surviving my guns, but you're not going to survive my torpedoes. Alexander's gone. And so is the other one. Okay, let's pause. No, don't. Okay, we're 82 still. And 90 on the other one. Okay. So 82 and 90. That gives me 164 and 180. That gives me a total score of 344. Make sure you guys check out everybody else's videos. Thanks as always for joining us for this. That was a lot of fun. We'll see you next week.